But like, it works every other fucking time.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I think it's actually a problem. It ends up being delayed by like 10 minutes starting, and then it was kind of like, okay, you guys can either not play or you can play trackless. They're only
Okay, cool. I actually think that was better.
That was better. Infinitely better.
Yeah, that was better. I think that was everyone's best overall.
Yeah.
Woo! Nice. Woo! There we go. Lucky you said number 4. Yeah! I thought you'd stopped it by the 4. Oh,
Lucky number
that sounds
4.
great. I'm looking forward to the gig now.
Yeah.
What number are you guys on?
2.
Two, I think.
Second. Perfect.
Second.
Perfect. Everyone wants number 2. Because it's like, no one wants to be first.
Nice. That was a nice
Because it's
thing.
like, fuck, you know, it's a bit nerve-wracking. And then the later it is in the night, the longer you're kind of waiting, the way, you know, and maybe nerves, little bits and pieces, things like that. And then for those who drink after you get your take done, then you can enjoy yourselves.
Or you can drink before you.
Yeah.
my job.
I need my friend with the skills to play.
Yes. It's funny because look, you know, you think you're playing better, and then you watch it back later and you go, oh my god. No, but a couple of things. I like whiskey. I like a drink. But with the gigging, I always find that. So you know, everyone is anxious before you play. Elvis Presley had stage fright until he died. You know what I mean? And he was tour of the world. He's Elvis. You think if anyone's gonna feel good about going on stage, it'd be him. But what it is, look, it's fight, flight. It's the adrenaline. It's the sympathetic nervous system engaging and telling you that you should fucking run away and not do this. You know, because you're moving into a space that's very intimidating. And apparently, any kind of public speaking or public performance is like the second biggest fear after like death or something, you know, statistically speaking. So you're already entering into something, and this is why people love to watch people on a stage. It's because they look at it and they go, fuck, I would never do that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of the implication. But what I'm trying to say with regard to drinking, this is my opinion, you can take it or leave it, but alcohol, the sugars in alcohols, the reason they call it liquid confidence is it eats and dissolves adrenaline. You know, that's part of the function of it. That's why you feel confident, and it gets rid of the fear. However, the fantastic thing about adrenaline is that if you go through it, the parasympathetic nervous system engages after a certain point and floods you with serotonin. Yeah. And fucking you get a real buzz. So not only do you maintain your your abilities to a higher degree than if you're drinking loads, but you also get a bigger and better rush at the end of it. It's why people like skydiving or skateboarding or any of the kind of the things that, you know, give you that sensation. So that's my kind of my scientific opinion of it. The other thing as well to keep in mind now, with a few weeks left, is one thing you mentioned, fine motor control, right? So the first thing at the height of fight or flight, your fine motor control does reduce a little bit because all the blood rushes to the bigger muscle groups like your legs so that you can run away, or arms to fight or whatever. And so things like fingers do suffer a little bit in the early part of a performance. And so what I do, or I recommend when you're if you're doing a kind of a show where you're a little bit nervous about it or you're a little bit anxious about it, is try and keep especially on things like guitar, the most complex lead parts to maybe song 3, 4, 5 if you can.
Yeah,
Same with
always
drums.
try to start with something that's
Try to start with
real
something that
easy
you
and
get
know
like
really well.
99% of
The
the
other
time.
thing
We're gonna start with all the small
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good.
All the
All small
worries,
things will be
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
That's
Basically,
the
like,
first choice.
Yes,
Adrenaline
yes.
will make anything that you're a bit shit at
Worse.
worse, and anything that you've drilled really well better.
Better.
So,
yeah. What you've trained to do is
so if you start with something that
you're worried
you've
about.
drilled the most, and that's kind of hardest to fuck up,
Yeah.
that's usually the best way.
And
to
that's
get
the
into
thing
a
is, if
gig.
on a guitar, look, power chords, your basic chords, your power chords, they'll always be fine. Even if you can't feel your fingers, you just trust that they're there and they're okay. But yeah, like complex lead stuff in the first song, I always try to avoid it. You know. Obviously, you know, then there's certain types of music like fucking progressive instrumental where it's just noodling constantly. But that's a
Then,
different
I'm sure-
approach.
I'm sure Polyphia would probably start with whatever. It's one of their songs.
I don't know how far, yeah. But what you notice they do is they fucking stand there
And don't do anything.
and don't do anything. And you know, it's more like a recital almost than
Yeah.
anything. But in your kind of punk, rock, pop punk, fucking rock stuff, you want to be able to have fun and move a little bit and enjoy it, you know. So that's why it's fun to, especially for your first 1 or 2 songs, make sure it's the ones that you can kind of, you could play while you're asleep, you know. Cool, all right, I'm going to pack all this shit
Well,
away.
make sure you get photos.
Oh, thank you, Al. Okay,
One
so,
question,
yes.
Is the gig going to be recorded that way, the sound-wise?
So it's always different,
I
okay?
mean, you're going to put in into channels?
We won't always have multi-track.
Sometimes
we won't
we
always
do.
have multi-track. Sometimes we can. It depends on who is doing the sound on the night and what we can manage. Bare minimum, what we do is we have a desk mix and a Zoom recorder in the room.
Main stereo.
Yeah, so main stereo mix of the gig.
Yeah.
But the problem with stereo mix of the gig is it favors certain things.
Yeah,
like you might
yeah.
get tons of vocal, you might get very
Yeah.
little overheads,
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. So we do a Zoom sound, a Zoom recording in the room as well, which will capture, and it also helps to capture the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a desk mix, even if it's multi-tracks, the song finishes and then you can kind of hear the audience somewhere in the background, you know, like. So we'll always bring a Zoom just to capture the room and capture the cymbals and
You
some of
want-
the
you
higher
want
end
the
stuff.
audience in there.
And the audience.
You do
It's
want
very
the
important.
audience.
Otherwise, I have to go to YouTube and like just download it and just fake
Random
audience, you
audience
know.
noise.
Yeah. Wembley, you know. But however, with that said, I think that did
If
the
you
last
do
one
that
we had
set, I would
multi-track.
be interested if you could share the
I will
settings with
definitely,
me.
yeah. I'm gonna anything anyone wants. I'll send over all the files. What we do as part of it is we will do like from our side, we'll do like a professional mix and video edit of one of the songs. But you can have as all the files, you know, no problem, and you can play around and do whatever you guys want with
Oh,
them.
you're gonna record the whole set?
We're gonna record the whole set,
Okay, nice.
video and audio. Like I said, it might be stems. We've had. Was the last one multi-track? Sal?
Very last one wasn't. The one before that was.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, it depends on who's on. But you know what we do? There's a great website, AI Vocal Remover or whatever, and it's got a splitter. So what we do sometimes, it's not the best, but it's pretty fucking good. You bring in your desk mix, and you split it out to drums, bass, instruments, which is like guitars and vocals, and you will at least get those 4 stems, and you can play around with those as well. But yeah, that is the plan.
Nice.
Great job. That is not an easy song at all to play on the drums. I always, when people say they're going to do Everlong, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Everlong's going to do you, we'll see. Because it's not easy on anything, like the octave parts and like all that shit is...
The bass is fine.
I was going to say, halfway through that sentence, I was going like, well, maybe not. You can enjoy yourself.
It's really the easiest one we have.
Yeah.
We'll leave it till last, and hopefully it'll all go fine.
Have you got your set list kind of?
Yeah, I
figured
think
out?
so. I think we've kind of got.
So you doing that one last night?
Do not last.
That's a great
yeah,
idea.
yeah, I think
that's,
so. It sounds like it's just perfect. And,
Everyone knows it.
Then we have to drop D.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
also a good reason to at the
That's
end.
the rationale.
Yeah, tuning back and forth is a pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're all good? Okay, here is this. Now, by the way,
Did you
guys.
get photos?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I fucking told you. I told you. Not only would I forget it once, I forgot it twice. Okay. Photos. So what we do is, I'm gonna get a couple ones. We've got the mirror, so that's kind of a cool.
Still recording.